Welcome to the Southern California Prep Insider Football Podcast. Tommy Morris, Shotgun Spratling here. We have our field reporters as always, but Shotgun, it is semifinals time.
Whew, exciting. I mean, that means it's the Southern section is the best on best now. I mean, we're getting the best four teams in each division, and there's very few teams without double-digit wins by this point, actually.
Yep, we got a lot of good teams in here. We're going to get to all the divisions like we promised last week. First, got into our field reporters. We'll run through all of them first, and then we'll come back.
Thanks, Tommy. I'm here at Notre Dame Sherman Oaks, where the Knights are on to the Division II semifinals. They will host Rancho Verde on Friday. I caught up after practice with senior wide receiver and defensive back Mikel Broussard, and he explained to me just how pumped up he is to be in the semis.
It feels wonderful. My team's been putting in hard work all year, and we're just trying to bring the program back and to get a championship here, so we got to keep it rolling. But it feels wonderful to win like that. So yeah.
You caught a touchdown against Los Alamitos, and like you've been doing all year, playing on both sides of the ball. What was the key to you guys getting that win in that game?
Playing as a team, coming together as a unit. It's not one individual that makes us win or not. It's the team. So we came together, had a little run, but we still got to fix things up and get perfect so we can get Rancho. So yeah.
Rancho up next. Top team in the division. How do you go out and get a win against them?
Same thing we've been doing all year. Just pound them in the mouth, run our offense, and play our defense. And we should get the W in my mind. So just play us and do us. So it should be good.
A few months back, you guys were 0-2, and I don't want to say the sky was falling, but you needed to regroup, and clearly you've done that. What's been the difference between that 0-2 team and this team that's rattled off so many wins in a row?
We bought into practice, and we came in ready to go, and I think my teammates thought like we were going to go in there and beat everybody, and then they realized that teams are good. So we came into practice, bought in, was watching film and doing our studies. So I think we just came together as a unit, and now we're in the semifinals, so just trying to keep it going.
What's your relationship like with the coaching staff here?
It's pretty, I say close, but not like on a talking level, on a playing level. They trust me, and they put the ball in my hands in tight situations, and I make plays. So it's like a trust relationship. So I do my job, and they do theirs, and we get the W. So.
A few weeks ago, you opened up the playoffs against La Habra in a crazy back-and-forth game on the road. You guys came out on top. It took until just about the final play. When you were playing that game, did it ever go through your mind, this might be it? And I know you had a pick six in that game, but it looked like you guys might have been out of it for a little bit. You fight back, and you win the game. What was your reaction after that one?
It was stunning. In the moment, I was like, I'm not going home. I'm not ready. I got things to do. My teammates got things to prove. So in the moment, I wasn't ready to go home, and that's why I had to get that pick six to get us going again. So I think that helped a lot and turned the game around, and then we just started playing Notre Dame football again and pound them in the mouth and got the W. So in the end, it's all good. So
what are you going to remember most about this year?
Winning. Finally getting a year where we can have a winning record and people notice us and people respect us. And that's all I really wanted, was that we can go out there and teams actually prepare for us and they just don't be like, oh, it's Notre Dame and we're going to run them over. But no, not this year. We're a good team in my mind, so that's what I'm going to remember.
As I've stated, you play on both sides of the ball. Who do you model your game after?
A lot of people. On defense, I try to play like Cam Chancellor, hit some people, or like a Richard Sherman when he was healthy. And on offense, I'm like an Odell on the receiver, or like a Marshawn Lynch type, or like a Alvin Kamara. So, but I like to be me, so it's basically me. So.
Mikel, the last question for you. I've asked what's it going to take to beat Rancho. What's it going to take to win two more and get that CIF championship?
Keep doing Notre Dame football, pound them in the mouth. Come at them and just play as a team. Should be pretty easy. Not easy, but like if we keep doing us, we should be able to win two more games.
That's Mikel Broussard here at Notre Dame High. Mikel, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Let's move on now to the game ball segment, where I highlight some of the top players from the past week in the northern part of the southern section. How about El Monte? They had 3 different 100-yard rushers in their 57-14 win over Fairmont Prep. Davon Booth, Ben Ousley, and Abel Cuerva all were over 100 yards in that win, so they get the game balls for me this week. I have others, though, don't worry. DeMarco Moorer, 23 carries, 198 yards, 3 touchdowns, and Arcadia's 38-17 win over Temescal Canyon. What a great performance from him. And then finally, James McNamara, the quarterback at Camarillo. He was 20 of 25 for 287 yards and 3 touchdowns and a 44-20 win over Oak Hills. Finally, my pick this week, I have Lawndale over St. Paul.
This week, I went very inland to Hemet High School to talk to not the head coach, but actually the head coach's son, who is the starting quarterback here at Hemet. His name is Nick Thornburg, and he is a quarterback that not only can throw, but he can also run under high-pressure situations. So he's also one of the captains here. You know, he's someone who knows a lot about this team. So we talked about what it is about this 2018 team that is doing so much better than they have done in the past few years. You know, this is the first time that they have made it to the semifinals in 49 years. So it's not just in the past couple of years, it's in years. It's in decades now at this point. They have made it extremely far this time around. So let's take a look and see what he had to say about this team. Here at Hemet, you guys have been doing exceptionally well this year. Why do you think Hemet has done so well this season?
Definitely, I think we're a lot closer as teammates, and we have a good bond with each other. And then especially with our coaches, we have such a good coaching staff this year with some new coaches, and so I think it really all comes together and helps us have a winning season.
Now it's your senior year. You are going to go off to play college ball next year, but let's talk a little bit about, you are the team captain here. You've played here on varsity for the past couple of years. What has it been like to really grow with this team and now be a leader of this team?
It feels really great to lead the team, especially when you're having a great season, because you definitely get looked at a lot more, being a great leader and everything. So
now, as you mentioned, it's your senior year. You're looking to go off to play college ball. What are you looking forward to the most about taking your skills to the next level?
Really just competing, with other quarterbacks for the top spot, and especially going in as a freshman, because not a lot of freshmen start in college football. So that'll be one of the most fun things for me, just competing for the spot, and then just getting to continue on playing the game I love. So.
Now, your dad, Jason Thornburg, is the head coach here at Hemet High School. He's been the head coach since your freshman year, so he's been your head coach for the past couple of years. But of course, you know, everyone's father is always their coach that they put the extra work in with at home. What has it been like to have him be able to coach you on the sidelines of your varsity games?
It's definitely a blessing sometimes, but definitely not, because he gets on me a little more if I make a mistake, but it's still great to have him there, always working with me, always making me better. It's like, especially when he's really been my life coach since I was born, so it's really great having him out there.
This Hemet team has been the first team to make it to the semifinals in 49 years. Now, what do you think is really the difference with this 2018 team?
I think just really the work ethic, because we've all been putting in work since spring, where we had morning practices, and during summer we all come out and spend extra time working on the field, getting better. Even on the weekends, we always make sure we come out and throw. So it's really just great. One, just bonding as a team, getting to know each other, and just making sure that we have our skills down so we're ready for the season.
Are there any players that have been really some standouts to you at being the captain and the quarterback? You know, have there been any guys that really stepped it up this year?
Yeah, definitely our O-line. Our whole O-line. We're coming into this season with only 2 returners, and a little shaky at first if they were going to be able to step up and do their jobs. But this year they've done amazing with protection, and it's been absolutely perfect. Couldn't ask for a better O-line, especially ones that I all get along with and bond with very well. And then some of the receivers, we had 2 receivers that were quarterbacks at the beginning of the year that got converted. One of them is now a tight end, and he's doing absolutely amazing. Travis Morgan, and then Jeremiah Graves, who's also a starting receiver, and he's doing perfect right now. So, and then Dawson Powers, who also first year out playing football, and he's starting wide receiver, and he's super quick, and it's really gives us different threats against defenses when we have someone as quick as him. Oh, yeah.
A lot of diversity out here at Hemet. Now, you guys are going to the Final Four, going to face off against Peninsula this Friday. What are you guys really working on to make sure that you take it to the next level?
We're really making sure we watch their film, offense and defense, making sure we know it by heart so that there's really no confusion and we know exactly what they're running so we can do exactly what we need to do to stop it.
I'm looking forward to that exciting game. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah, after talking with Nick, he said this team is really a team that has grown together over the years, starting from their freshman year. So after talking with Nick, he said that this team is a very close-knit team. Now, they're a team who has grown together over the years since their freshman year. You know, their head coach, this is his first year as a full... Now, after talking with Nick, we really came to the conclusion that this team is just a very close-knit team. These guys have grown up together, especially here at Hemet High School. You know, Coach Thornburg here is actually, this is his 4th year. So this is his first graduating class where he has known them for all 4 years. They're just very close in that way that they have grown together and now become so successful. So what they're really working on, as Nick said, is they're making sure that they watch a lot of film. They prepare on both sides of the ball to ensure that they go out there and they're able to make it to the Division 11 finals. A couple of predictions that I'm making for this semifinals week of CIF is first we're going to start with Division 12, Linfield going up against Xavier Prep. Now I've said it once before and I'm going to say it again. I really think Linfield is going to win Division 12 this year. They're doing exceptionally well and every single week it seems like they haven't even been phased. So I have them taking it once again this week. Now I also have Citrus Hill going up against Sierra Canyon. I will be at that game. So I'm hoping that it is a very good one. We're at semifinals at this point, so all teams are pretty closely ranked. And just one other game that I want to talk about is the, of course, Centennial Mater Dei game. Now, this is going to be the first matchup that Centennial has where this is actually some competition for them. Mater Dei has had a couple of teams go up against them, like Bosco and IMG Academy, of course. It's a little different for Centennial because they are still undefeated. I'm not sure if that's going to play a big role in how they perform, if they're going to go out there and be a little too confident, or if they're going to take that confidence and turn it into reality and walk away with a win against Mater Dei. That would be great for fans because it's something like we haven't seen before, so that would be very exciting. A couple of game balls I want to give out from last week. I was at the Santa Ana versus Temecula Valley game, and what a matchup it was. Santa Ana ended up walking away with the 21-19 win because TV couldn't complete the 2-point conversion. Patrick McMorris really led the Santa Ana team on both sides of the ball. He was out there playing running back, he played safety, he played nearly every position out there. He's really a great utility player. It's going to be great to see which school he ends up picking for next year. He went out there and I believe he ran for around 250 yards, just insane numbers. He had 2 touchdowns. He just had a great night overall. Now, one other guy that I want to give the game ball to is actually from Temecula Valley, Easton Gibbs, like I have given a game ball to before. This guy is just great to watch. He's been playing quarterback for Temecula Valley throughout this entire year, but he's going to play safety in college next year. That is his prominent position. It's going to be very fun to watch him when he goes out to play Saturdays instead. And he really was the reason that this Temecula Valley team made it so far this season. So hats off to him. I'm really looking forward to covering Citrus Hill this Friday. That's all for me. Back to you guys, Tommy.
It's semifinal season, but first let's recap the victories from last week. St. John Bosco cruised to a 56-6 victory over San Clemente. The game of the week, J. Sarah versus Oaks Christian, was moved to Saturday due to the wildfires, and half the Oaks Christian team was forced to evacuate their homes. But it's truly heartwarming to see the high school football community come together during playoffs. J. Sarah parents made 1,000 cheeseburgers and 1,000 cookies for a special tailgate for Oaks Christian fans after a devastating week for the community. And the game itself was an instant classic. Oaks Christian converted a field goal with 18 seconds remaining in the game for a 35-34 victory. A thrilling and an emotional win for the community. Down in South Orange County, Mater Dei defeated Mission Viejo 56-17. Number 1 athlete in the nation, Mater Dei's Brew McCoy had 5 receptions for 189 yards and 2 touchdowns in addition to a 13-yard rushing touchdown. You can watch my post-game interview with him on our Twitter at SCPrepInsiderSS. Today I'm here at Capistrano Valley to see how the Cougars are preparing to take on Cajon this Friday in the CIF Division III semifinals. Let's take a look.
There we go, you go. Pham block there, you can double that.
I'm here with Coach Boucher, head coach. I'm here with Coach Boucher, head coach of Capistrano Valley. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having us, coming out.
So before becoming head coach here, you previously coached the offensive line and special teams.
I did.
And you've been head coach for 5 years. What does the school mean to you?
It means a lot. It's my 23rd year coaching, and this is my 12th at Capistrano Valley. So spent most of my career here. So in a lot of ways, this is home professionally for me. And to have the success we've had now for the last 3-4 years, it means a lot. And the kids are great, the families are great. So it's really great to have that success here at a place I've been in a long time.
Before coming to Capistrano Valley, you coached at La Quinta, Estancia, and Aliso Niguel. What do you say you bring to a football program?
Experience, doing it for a long time. I've done it since I was 17, 18 years old, and really, put in a lot of hours doing it. So that experience, and then really just, the knowledge of doing it at a couple of different places, seeing what's worked, what hasn't worked, and then trying to kind of fine tune that here with what we do at Capo.
Coming off a victory against Santiago last week, how are you preparing for Cajon this Friday?
Cajon's a difficult matchup. Very athletic, well coached. So we're doing the best we can to try and slow down Jaden Daniels, which is next to impossible. And then we're trying to put points on the board ourselves and hang on to the ball as best we can. Try to limit their chances offensively. So just trying to put in some stuff that's going to hopefully slow them down and put us in the best position to put points on the board. And then for us, always we want to win a special teams game, and that's something that we focus on quite a bit here. So a couple different formations and schemes, special teams wise, to try and win that side of the ball.
Congratulations on a great season so far, and we look forward to seeing the Cougars play this Friday.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming out.
I can't tell you how excited I am for these semifinal matches this Friday. St. John Bosco at Oaks Christian, that's going to be a good one, as well as Mater Dei versus Centennial and Villa Park versus Grace Brethren. Back to you, Tommy.
All right, Shotgun, as promised, I know a little bit extra work had to go into this week for both of us. So hopefully we make out of this thing alive. We're going to start with Division 13. Shotgun, the floor is yours.
You start with Adelanto and El Monte. It could be one of the best games of the week. 2 evenly matched teams. I'm going to take Adelanto in the opener here.
I'm going to go with El Monte, and then I'm going to go with Orange Vista in the next game.
I got Orange Vista as well. They've shut out their first 2 opponents 42-0, 43-0. I think they'll have another good defensive performance.
All right, moving on up. Going to Division 12. It is Linfield Christian and Xavier Prep.
Linfield first beaten now. They're not going to be challenged in this one.
Yeah, I think Linfield Christian is probably the favorite in this division. And the other side, it's Artesia and Laguna Beach.
Artesia has QB Header Gladden, who's averaging 285 total yards per game. But I think Laguna Beach can slow him down. I think that'll be the key. They'll win.
I agree. I'm going to go with the Breakers in this one. Moving up to Division 11. First game, it's Peninsula and Hemet.
Peninsula beat the top seed Pomona 58-13. That tells you something about this team. They're ready to play. I'm taking Peninsula.
I'm going to go with the then de facto upset here. I'm going to go with Hemet High School. Thornburg, Richardson, and Whitfield out of the backfield. Thornburg's also the quarterback. So, again, they like to run the ball. They're probably going to try and limit the possessions here, so I'm going to go with the Bulldogs. Moving on, we're going to Division 10. Sorry, my counting is not where it should be.
Wait, you're skipping one, Tommy. We got Western and Beaumont. I mean, I know it's going to be a blowout too, but you didn't have to skip it. Anthony Munoz, 317 yards passing per game. I mean, he's got the Savage brothers, Kane Savage, one of my favorite names in all Southern California. Kane and Cassius will lead them to victory. But you just want to skip that, it's fine. I didn't want to
skip it. I'm sorry. My brain is kind of like all over the place. So, yeah, I'll agree with you there. Next, we can go to Division 10. Can we go to Division 10 now?
Yes, we can go to Division 10.
All right, we got Highland and Bonita.
Highland 12-0. I think they'll be 13-0 next week.
I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to go with Bonita here in the upset. Next, we've got El Rancho in Eisenhower.
El Rancho scored 28 points in the fourth quarter to beat Knight 56-52. They won't do that against Eisenhower, though. Eisenhower's going to be 13-0. Highland's going to be 13-0. That's going to be one of the top finals next week.
Unless I have to play Bonita. But I'm going to go with Eisenhower, too. I like Ike. Going with Eisenhower.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Division 9 now. First game is San Gorgino and Garden Grove.
San Gorgino beat top seed Palm Desert. They're 9-3, so I'm taking Garden Grove. Mike Carrillo does it all, 194 rushing yards per game, and he does on the defensive side, too.
Yeah, Garden Grove, I think, is probably my favorite to win this thing. The other side, it is North and Brea Olinda.
Yeah, I'm taking J.W. North and Stephen Bradford in this. Brea Olinda is coming off a 3-point win over North Vista, so they've got some confidence that they can win the close game, but I don't think it'll be close.
I'm going to go with Brea Olinda as well. Next, going on up to...
I'm not taking Brea Olinda. No, you're not even listening to me anymore, Tommy. There's too many teams going around in your brain. You're not even listening to me here.
No, I'm just... my brain is exploding. Sorry. I actually am going to go with North. I apologize. I had it the wrong way. I'm going with the Saxons here. I'm going with North. Next, we've got... You know what actually started happening was... just a little behind the scenes for everybody. I'm reading all these off MaxPress to make sure I don't miss anything. And what happened was I've got shotgun in my ear and then also started playing one of those autoplay videos. So I've got like 3 things going on in my head at once. So I actually couldn't hear you the whole entire time.
Oh, okay. I understand now.
Sorry. Yeah, so now moving on to Division 8, it is Alta Loma and Arcadia.
Arcadia's got QB Dylan Guerra. They go 5 wides a lot. I saw them early in the season. I liked what I saw. I'm going to take them in this.
I'll agree. I'll go with Arcadia. Next, it's Santa Ana and Kaiser.
Santa Ana, this is going to be a matchup of 2 really good running backs. Patrick Morris, 216 yards per game. Christian Hunter from Kaiser, 230 yards per game. I'm going to take those 14 extra yards. Kaiser gets the win.
I'll go with Kaiser as well. Next, we're really trucking along here. Going to Division 7, it is Northview and Culver City.
Here's one of my bigger upsets of the week. I'm going to take Culver City in this one. I think they've been playing pretty well. I'm taking them to win against Northview.
I'm going to go the other way around. I'll go with Northview. I did see Culver City play against Lawndale. They are a good team. This is not supposed to be a slight against Culver City. I think they're really, really good, and I think they'll get better in the next coming years. But I'm going to go with Northview here. Next, San Jacinto and Valencia.
Pair of 11-1 teams here. Pair of teams that come off really tight victories. San Jacinto beat Riverside Notre Dame 42-40 with a go-ahead touchdown. 3 minutes to go. Valencia beats Grand Terrace. Grand Terrace missed a PAT with 4 minutes to go, and Valencia hit the field goal in the final minute. I'm going to take SJ in this one, and San Jack gets the win, though.
I'll go with them as well. Also, not a bad Black Mirror episode. I think it's the name of that. You don't watch the Black Mirror?
I don't watch TV. Just sports.
All right, so never mind. Forget about it. That's for normal people like me. Moving to Division 6 now. First game is South Hills and Pacifica.
South Hills is 12-0. Let's make it 13-0. Pacifica, though, is coming off a 31-28 win in overtime. Malik Sherrod had 30 carries for 220 yards and a touchdown. I think South Hills slows him down, though.
I think South Hills is probably the class of this division. I expect them to win the championship. Next, who will play them? It will either be Oxnard or Serrano.
This is going to be a tough one. I think this is going to be a very close game. Both of these teams just came off really close wins. Oxnard beat West Ranch, who I know you love, Tommy. Weston Egat, their quarterback. But they had a block punt touchdown. They had a pick six touchdown, proved to be the difference, 34-31. Serrano, on the other hand, they beat St. Margaret's 18-16. St. Margaret's took the lead with 2 minutes to go, but Serrano drove down the field, got the game-winning field goal to take that one. I'm going to take Serrano. I think they're playing a little bit better.
I'll go the other way. I'll go with Oxnard. I thought West Ranch was probably going to have a good shot at winning this whole division. Oxnard took him last year. Shout out to Weston Egat, though. I think he got 2 offers this week, so I want to say Western Illinois and New Mexico State. So congrats to him. However, Oxnard ended up winning that game, and I think they're going to win this week as well. And congrats to Toronto, too. Beating St. Margaret's is no easy task. Prove me wrong. So moving on to Division 5 now. It is Palos Verdes and Glendora.
Palos Verdes beat Aquinas 12-7. Aquinas is the team I thought would be in the final. They had 31 offensive yards in the first half, but they rallied with 9 points in the fourth quarter. Julian Alessi had a big 54-yard touchdown catch. Glendora is coming off a 48-33 win. Xavier Ford, 21 carries, 114 yards and a touchdown. I'm going to take Glendora, though, in this one.
I'm going to go with Glendora as well. Their game last week impressed me because defensively, at least, Apple Valley puts up a bunch of points, held them to 33, and then outscored them at 48. So I expect to see them in the finals. Next, Lawndale and St. Paul. This should be a very good one.
Lawndale started slow for the second week in a row. I saw them a couple weeks ago, and they didn't really pull away until the second half. They scored 31 points in the second half to beat Antelope Valley 38-0. Jordan Wilmore, 21 carries, 174 yards, 2 touchdowns, just, light work for him. St. Paul, they beat Lucero 34-30, back and forth game, one on a touchdown pass with 3 minutes to go. I'm taking Jordan Wilmore. He's the star in this whole division. I think that you go with the stars at this point in the season. I'm going to go with Lawndale.
I'll go with the upset. I'm going to take St. Paul. In this one, I think they're a very underrated program. Next, Division 4. It is Corona Del Mar and Camarillo.
Corona Del Mar has, just a dynamic passing attack with Ethan Garbers, John Humphreys, Bradley Schlum. I don't know why I struggled with that one this time. But they beat Yorba Linda last week 49-12. Ethan Garbers, like Big Brother, getting a big win. Chase Garbers beats USC for Cal. Ethan Garbers throws for 384 yards and 5 touchdowns. John Humphreys had 3 of those touchdowns. He had 13 catches and 153 yards. Schlum had 7 catches and 130 yards in the touchdown. Their passing attack's too much. I just saw Camarillo last week. They were dynamic with their screen game. They threw basically every possible screen out there at Oak Hills. They won 44-20. Jesse Valenzuela, their running back, had over 200 total yards. He had a touchdown rushing, a touchdown receiving. He was really good in that. But I just think Corona Del Mar's passing attack is a little too much. I really like the coaching, though, at Camarillo. They were really good in that Oak Hills game.
I'm going to go CDM as well. I got to see them play last week, and that Garbers-Humphreys connection is no joke. Scary thing is they're both juniors, so they will be back next year, even better than ever. I don't want to say bigger because I don't think Humphreys can get any bigger. He's already 6'5". But shout out to Camarillo, though. They're one of the teams that's definitely affected by the fires. They're kind of right in the thick of things there. I don't know what their practice has been able to be like the last couple of weeks. Ended up pulling out a win last week. Didn't affect them, but again, it's tough dealing with that kind of stuff and how to play a football game. I will go with CDM. Other game in that division, it is Grace Brethren and Villa Park. I think this will be probably the closest game in that is going to be played next week. Yeah,
it could be a great game here. Lontrell Diggs for Grace Brethren has just been carrying the load for them. 30 carries, 218 yards, and 4 touchdowns last week in a win over Paramount. Stanley Tafu, who's a USC commit, linebacker, 14 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 3.5 sacks, 7 hurries. He was all over the place last week. They're going to need him to do that again against Villa Park. I think they can and beat Grace Brethren, but Grace Brethren's got to keep the ball away from Dylan Bonilla. He had 3 interceptions, including a pick 6 in their win over Saugus last week. So they haven't been throwing the ball much, Grace Brethren, but I would make sure not to throw it anywhere near him.
Yeah, I'm going with Grace Brethren. The good news is they don't have to throw the ball. When you have that good of a running attack, it doesn't matter. Villa Park, a very good team, undefeated so far this season, so you can't really relax in this game for Grace Brethren. But I think Grace Brethren, they've gotten better and better as seasons progress, and they're just peaking right now. Moving on to Division 3. Division 3 now, we've got Cajon and Capistrano Valley.
So we just talked about how Grace Brethren doesn't want to throw the ball. We're going to see the ball thrown around a lot in this game. Cajon, they beat Berkeley 76-40. I don't know what else positive I can say about Jaden Daniels. 18-29, 431 yards through the air, 6 touchdowns, 13 carries, 145 yards, and 3 touchdowns on the ground. So he accounted for 9 touchdowns. The kid is amazing. I'm just going to put it that way. Darren Jones is wide receiver, 8 catches for 214 yards and 4 touchdowns. But on the other side, they're going to throw the ball as well because they got Nathan Manning, the Cal baseball commit, as their quarterback. He threw for 284 yards and a touchdown last week. He had a touchdown rushing as well to beat Santiago. But I just don't think anyone's going to come close to Cajon, in that passing attack they got right now.
76 points last week. I'm just going to say it again. Capo Valley has not gotten, they got 28 points last week. I think that's probably right around what we'll get this game. I don't think they'll give up 76. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is scoring with Cajon is difficult. I will go with the Cowboys. The other game, bottom side of the bracket, it is Sierra Canyon and Citrus Hill.
Sierra Canyon's coming off a 62-21 win over Moore Park. Citrus Hill beat Downey 35-28. A.J. Porter, 31 carries, 106 yards in that game. They had 4 interceptions. Citrus Hill had 4 interceptions in the game on defense. They only had 2 receptions on offense. They're going to run the ball a lot. But both of those receptions they had were 35-yard touchdowns, so that proved to be the difference in that win. But I think Sierra Canyon's got too many weapons for them.
Sierra Canyon as well. Moving on, Division 2. It is Rancho Verde and Notre Dame Sherman Oaks.
Rancho Verde, we talk about them and Xavier Ugorgi and how good he is. He had 20 carries, 114 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had a 30-yard touchdown catch as well. But he got injured in the third quarter. He's going to get an MRI. I haven't heard, what the status is on him, and that's going to be crucial for them. It's going to be a big rushing attack either way. Jordan Jefferson came in and ran 17 times for 81 yards and a touchdown for them. for Rancho Verde. Sherman Oaks, Notre Dame wants to run the ball as well. Christian Grubb, 21 carries, 169 yards last week. Sean Guyton had 2 pick sixes for an interception, 2 pick six interceptions, in that Sherman Oaks win over Los Alamitos, 49-32. I'm going to go with Sherman Oaks because I don't know about the status of Ugorji, and I don't think coming off an injury that's going to be a great fit for them going against Sherman Oaks Notre Dame.
Yeah, Notre Dame, Sherman Oaks, or however you want to say it, either around, very good program. I feel like a lot of people kind of forget about them, and then playoffs come around. It's like, oh yeah, they're really good. So they blew out Los Alamitos last week, which I didn't see coming. So I'm going to take them this week to advance to the finals. Final game. This will be a very, very good one. It will be Upland and Calabasas, 2 teams who we've had in our top 10, not just in Division II, but in all divisions.
Yeah, and this one will come back to an injury too because Justin Flo did not play last week. Upland beats Norco 33-28, thanks in part to his little brother, Jonathan Flo, had 7 tackles, 3 sacks, including 1 for a safety, which proved to be big. Kyle Floyd also on defense stepped up, 15 tackles, tackle for loss, a sack. They had 8 sacks in the night, so the defense stepped up for them, but they need Justin Flo back to go against this Calabasas offense. Calabasas can throw the ball all over the place. Jaden Casey had 3 touchdown passes. Johnny Williams, their running back, stepped up. He had 3 touchdown carries last week. Micah Pittman had a 69-yard touchdown catch. He had another touchdown catch. Johnny Wilson had a big touchdown catch over a defender. They couldn't slow down Cade Albright, though. San Juan Hills, defensive end was all over 10 tackles, 5 for loss, 3 sacks. I think that they've got to be able to slow down the Upland pass rush. And if Flo is back, he can be a part of that. Even though he's the middle linebacker, he's a bruiser. He can, when they bring him on blitzes, he's dynamic as well. I'm going to go with Upland in this. I don't know if Justin Flo's going to play. I'm expecting him to play because he's a baller. He likes to get in those big games. So I'm going to go with Upland in their defense. They got to slow down that Calabasas passing attack.
I'll go Calabasas here. Again, I'm talking about teams that just are trending up like this, and Calabasas is another one that they've gotten better with each week. I'm going to go with the Coyotes. Division I now, finally, shotgun. We have the de facto favorite, St. John Bosco, taking on Oaks Christian. Again, another team that's kind of stuck in that fire area. Classy move by Bosco. They're going to donate all the funds to this game to the victims of the fire, so shout out to them. And I think a lot of other schools are doing that as well. I don't mean to forget about some other schools that are doing that. But Bosco, Oaks Christian. Does Oaks Christian have a chance for the upset after their 35-34 win last week?
First off, you talk a little bit about the charity that with the fire victims and everything. How about the J. Sarah, Booster Club or whoever it was? The game gets moved to J. Sarah last week, gets moved to Saturday because of the fires and everything. They invited all the fans for Oaks Christian to come down early to tailgate with them. They had all the extra food and stuff. Great gesture by J. Sarah and a great game between those two, Oaks Christian and J. Sarah. Oaks Christian wins 35-34 on a game-winning field goal with 18 seconds left. The game really churned when Nate Lenthal took an interception and returned it to the house. He also caused a fumble. Chris Street was really good from Oaks Christian, 18 carries, 172 yards, and 2 touchdowns, or 1 touchdown, excuse me. But Zach Charbonnet on the other side, I just more and more impressed every time I see him play. 29 carries, 221 yards. He leaped over a defender on a touchdown run for about 20 yards. He just does it every week. Kayvon Thibodeau, though, was ejected in the game. He's going to miss the next game, so that's a big blow to their defense. Going against Bosco, I think you got to have him. Without him, I don't think they have a chance against Bosco. Bosco just beat up on San Clemente 56-6. Trent McDuffie was incredible in the game. 12-yard rushing touchdown, a 76-yard punt return touchdown. He had an interception as well. Chris Steele had an interception. Cole Aubrey, 6 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 2 sacks. I mean, there's just so many playmakers on that Bosco side. And when you lose one of the best players in the country in Kayvon Thibodeau, I don't think you can recover from that. I think Bosco wins pretty easily.
Yeah, Bosco as well. Final game. This is a game that I will be at. It will be the TV game. Mater Dei versus Corona Centennial.
Great matchup. You see the Trinity League go up against Centennial in the Final Four. It seems like every single year. Can they get past Centennial? I don't know. This is going to be a great game, I think. The Centennial offense is on fire right now. They scored on their first 7 possessions against Rancho Cucamonga. They were up 55-14 at the half. Another blowout win for Centen. Gary Bryant, he scored the first 3 touchdowns. An 86-yard touchdown run on a double reverse. He had 3 catches for 78 yards. 2 of those were touchdowns. I think it was a 50-yarder and a 20-yarder for his touchdown. Thomas Kinslaw, 14 carries, 2 touchdowns, and 78 yards. They only had 1 sack in this game, though, and so you wonder if they're going to get enough pressure against Mater Dei. That's been the key for Centennial all year is the bookends that they have, Corey Foreman and Drake Jackson. They got to get some pressure on Bryce Young, corral him, keep him in the pocket enough, you kind of collapse the pocket. And I think they can with the defensive lineman they have. I'm going to take them over Mater Dei, even though Mater Dei, I love the kids they have there with Bryce Young throwing for 372 yards and 4 touchdowns. Jacoby Harper, 13 carries, 3 touchdowns on the ground. He had a touchdown receiving. Brew McCoy did it the other way around. He had 2 touchdowns through the air, 5 catches, 189 yards. He also had a 13-yard touchdown run. Their defense was really good, held Joey Yellen 11 of 23 for 224 yards. I thought that would be a much closer game with Mission Viejo, but no, Mater Dei smoked them 56-17. But I still think that Centennial with that defense can win this game.
Not so fast, my friend. Mater Dei, I think it's going to, they're just so good, man. They really are. Centennial's a great squad as well. Mater Dei is really, really good. I envision another rematch, Bosco, Mater Dei, for, I guess, third time that they'll warm up together.
That's true.
Second time
we
they'll play again.
We got to see one of those warm-ups. Unfortunately, we got the bad one. Hopefully, we get to see the good one next week if they're playing. Either way, I think Bosco wins, and I think whoever wins that Centennial Mater Dei game is going to be a great matchup for that Southern Section final.
All right, that is it, Shotgun. Anything you want to add before we get out of here?
Looking forward to some big matchups this week, like we talked about. But get out and support the teams, and I'm sure there'll be a little donation bucket for the fire victims. So help out a little bit if you can.
Yes, please help out a little bit. Fires are no joke. Families losing houses, not a fun situation. We will see you next week, and Shotgun, it'll be championship week.
Championship!
Don't go anywhere.